Good evening, humans. Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the Mythic Legion's Figura Obscura Frankenstein's creature figure from Four Horsemen. Let's do this. Aesthetically speaking, this figure looks awesome, and just, yeah, they nailed it. They did a great job. There's a lot of original sculpt here from what I can tell. I mean, again, as I've said in previous reviews, I'm kind of new to Mythic Legions, but a lot of this seems very, very new and specific to Frankenstein's creature at that. And yeah, just, I mean, look at that sculpt, and we'll start with the jacket because I'm probably going to take that off so we can look at the figure proper. But the jacket itself is awesome. You know, the nice, really deep kind of wash they got going over the fur to kind of bring out those details. The punched in kind of bronze, gold. We even got a little bit of patina going on here and there. Really, really nice touch. Not to mention even the sculpt, just details everywhere. You got this patchwork kind of look to it. Different colors, different textures all around. Just really, really cool. Fits the figure perfectly. Not only that, but we get these tears here. And I mean, that looks like fabric. Just incredible job. And then for the figure itself, this just kind of comes off. It's somewhat rubbery. It is not cloth, despite it looking like it. We do get the figure, and it's definitely showing up very bright through my viewfinder here, but it's not quite that. It's not quite as bright as it's probably looking as it's reflecting. My lights are reflecting off of it, pardon me. But it is still kind of a bright yellow, and that is how it was described in the book, as kind of having this jaundiced look. Well, I would have preferred more of a gangrenous look. Again, this is literature accurate, so that's pretty cool. And again, that original sculpt, we get all this stitching here from the surgery, so around the neck, here at the torso, and then all this work on the arms, even the hands, just details everywhere, wash even on the palms. That's really just fantastic. Then we get these pants. These are soft goods, as you can see. So there's some Velcro here at the zipper, or the kind of waist here, and then we got this rope that is attached to the pants themselves, so there's no worry about losing that. You can see it goes around the back. It's very basic, but we got some nice, aging, couple of rips. We got the shoes, very similar to what we saw with NECA's Frankenstein's monster from the Universal line. So very nice, especially the details. They look very, very similar. That texturing, so kind of cool there. And then the head itself, this is the one that comes on in the package. This is, again, literature accurate with the black stringy hair. Just really, really nice work. Just a lot of depth, and something that isn't showing up on my camera, and I know this is going to show up, but the eyes, not only are they painted perfectly, but there's a gloss just over those, and it really gives it this nice, realistic look in person. And again, I can't really convey that here, especially because my camera isn't like 4K or anything like that, but just really phenomenal looking figure. We get an absolutely insane number of accessories here, almost overwhelming. So let's jump right in, and I will say there are two different looks for Frankenstein's creature here. So we have obviously the clothed look, and then there's the fresh off the table look, which some of these accessories will explain. So starting off with hands, right out of the box, we do get those kind of grasping hands, both slightly different sculpts, as you can see. Then we get a pair of gripping hands. So nice and simple, but again, details just all around, great work. Then we get three separate heads. So we get the one we looked at before, which is more accurate to the book, but then we get two with no hair. So we get one with the kind of gritted teeth, angry face. Again, has that kind of glossy eye look to it, which probably isn't going to come across on camera, but still beautiful work. Then we get the kind of more stunned sort of look with somewhat neutral, but still fantastic details all around. Sculpt just everywhere. Can't beat that. So fantastic. Then also for that fresh off the table look, we do get a pair of bare feet to replace those boots, and a kind of wrap here for the waist. And the rest of the video we'll probably see in that, because it's going to be easier to show off articulation, etc. So there's that. Then we get, let's see, I guess going further along with what actually goes on his body, we do get some shackles. We get two for the feet and two for the hands. And I can see beautiful details there. Just looks like actual metal. And we do get actual metal chain as well. And those metal chains, speaking of which, that'll allow us to look at one of the bigger accessories. That is the operating table itself. Beautifully done with that stainless steel look, though we got a little bit of, kind of gunk going on here at the corner around the drain. And then we get these straps, which do come separate. You kind of just attach those. They look like real leather. They're not. They are, pretty sure those are plastic. Great sculpt though. Then we can see those shackles can actually be attached here. So you'd have to take apart or like kind of open one of the links, but then you can attach it there and here for the feet. So pretty cool. Then we get all the kind of workings. So we get this does not turn, but really well sculpted all around in different shades for the metal. Love the way that they aged the hydraulics here and here at the bottom with the white with all that wear. It just looks real. Of course, we get the pedal here to raise and lower the table. It's also articulated and it's got some detents, so you can come all the way up, go to neutral, you can go all the way to the other side. So it goes pretty much anywhere you want to go. Pretty cool. So there's that. Then I guess what we're talking about furniture, we do get the other just kind of, table for holding tools and, operating stuff. So, just a simple, pull here, and then we get the same kind of finish that we got there. And yes, great sculpt all around. Then we won't talk about the jacket. We look at the jacket. Then we get 3 different bell jars. So we get a large one, a medium one, and a small one. And you even get some stuff for those jars. Like we do get this kind of corpse head. I think this came on a separate Mythic Legions figure, maybe many different ones. Just definitely a repaint of that, but great details, great paint all around. And again, that gloss comes into the eyes. Here you can see it a little bit better because they're so wide, and you can even see those like pupils behind it. Just fantastic effect. And then we get a skull. We've seen these many times with Mythic Legions. These can go on figures as well, as you can see. That's pretty cool. And then finally, for the small jar, we do get just a skeleton hand and as a peg. So again, it can be used for a figure, or you can just leave it in the jar. Then finally, we do get this kind of electrical piece, and you can see there's a crank here. This does not turn, but there's that. You got some really nice gold and silver and all those mechanics going on. And on the back, we get also no expense spared, as it were. You can see this wire wrapped around it. It is actual wire wrapped in, or kind of covered in plastic, and it is actual metal wire under that. And that can go through these 3 separate connectors. I'm not sure of the actual name, so I apologize there, but you can see that little hole right there. So go through that, you attach all 3, and those end at this larger piece. Again, do not know the names, so I've seen these things before, but I'm not very good with that sort of stuff. So we do get holes down here, and we get a hole here at the top. So as you can see, you can connect all of that as it needs to be. And then finally, we have 3 separate books. So we got this black one with the nice purple accents. Absolutely love that. We got a hole in the back. We get a brown one, some gold buckles, and then finally a green book with this gold plate. And again, they all 3 of them have a hole in the back, which I think was for a different figure. So yeah, that will do it finally for accessories. Actually, in all that, I did forget one thing. Not really an accessory, but you do get a book, as all of the Figura Obscura figures have come with. And for this one, it is a little introduction to both just kind of the story of Frankenstein. We get some excerpts from the actual book, which I highly recommend reading. One of my favorite books of all time. And then just kind of a little about with Mary Shelley and Four Horsemen. So fantastic stuff all around. That will do it for accessories. Articulation, balance here are impressive, and right off the bat, freestanding kicks, no problems whatsoever, positively beautiful. And getting into the finer points here, again, I do have him kind of stripped down into the kind of post-op configuration here. So, he's got a lot more freedom here than if he has the clothes, pardon me. But still, actually the biggest difference will be the head, because we don't have the hair getting in the way, though the sculpt on the head with the hair isn't too bad. We get all the way up. We do have a ball hinge here for the head. We can look all the way down. neutral. We get tons of tilt. We get rotation. This head is kind of tight on that ball, so be careful there. Definitely had to heat this up. Arms coming up into almost a perfect T. We are single jointed at the elbows, so we're coming to 90. We do get rotation. We get hinge and swivel at the wrists. We get nothing at the diaphragm, but we do get our ball joint, just like we do with all the Mythic Legions. And with the kind of spacer piece, actually I left it in the bag. Didn't bring it here. There's a black spacer piece that is under the pants to kind of keep the ball joint in place. I took that out to put the wraps on, and you get insane range here. Like that's great. Crunch, arch back is perfect. We get some, side to side. It's a little gappy, I mean, without that spacer, but it totally works. Get rotation there as well. The hips, full splits, positively beautiful. Front kick, full 90. Get that great big boot. You can see that thigh swivel right under there. We do get single jointed knees, bringing us just past 90. We get a little bit of rotation, but not really like in and out, just kind of like around for the feet. You can see we do get rotation because of this. So there's some swivel. We get some perfect point, some great forward, and then tons of rocker. So that will do it for articulation. Getting into size comparisons, here they are with some other Mythic Legions. With some domestics. With some imports. With some monsters. Finally, with Articulate Icons Oni, and yours truly in human form as a Valverse Action Force figure. So my final thoughts on the Mythic Legions Figura Obscura Frankenstein's creature figure from the Four Horsemen is that this figure just absolutely kicks ass. There's so many good accessories. The figure looks amazing. It poses fantastically. There's just so much to love here, and I did not realize how much I needed a source material accurate Frankenstein's creature in my collection until I got this. And the more I've played around with it, the more I've just kind of like been exposed to it. The more happy I am with it. This has very quickly moved up my list of figures for the year. Just a phenomenal piece from not just a great company in the Four Horsemen, but the Figura Obscura stuff in particular is really what drew me in to Mythic Legions. And this in particular, I think, just really drives home just how good they are and just how much potential they have, even considering how high up they already are, I think. So absolutely recommend this. Unfortunately, it is sold out. They had 3 different drops. They had the initial one in the morning, the day it went up. They had the afternoon one, which is the one I got in on. And then they did one a few days later. And so those are all sold out. However, they always are finding stuff in their warehouse and stuff like that. I think they recently just redropped the Headless Horseman from Figura Obscura. So like there's always apparently some just kind of like turning up. Not only that, but there are a few different figures that they've done repaints for. This is one I can definitely see them. I think someone online, I saw some random comment rather that said, I'll wait for the green variant, and I think that's a high possibility here, and it'd be kind of cool to see. So there's hope for that. But I wish you the best of luck on the secondary market if that is your only hope. But beyond that, hope you found this review informative and some entertaining. If that's the case, hope to see you back here because we do multiple reviews a week of various action figures. So really, at the end of the day, I just hope you're well. Hope that all of your toy dreams come true, and most importantly, I hope that you and yours stay weird, simians.